Patreon Q&A number 71, part 2. Part 1 was released earlier today. I still want to thank all 110 of my incredibly overpowered, super awesome, attractive patrons. You already know I love you, so I'm putting it out there again. And to everyone else listening, there's going to be spoilers in these questions and answers, so tread carefully. Kyle M asks, hey Z, so about the meteor, I'm wondering if Tatsumaki could have stopped the meteor. I know that the scene of her killing the ancient king was animated wrong, and she was only meant to bring down a very large boulder, not an actual meteor, but I'm wondering if she could have stopped the City Z meteor. Had she been buffed by Fubuki, I'm not sure if Fubuki can only buff physical attributes or if she can buff Esper powers as well, but assuming she could, do you think that a buff Tatsumaki could have stopped the meteor? So I think that Tatsumaki without the buff could have stopped the meteor. Maybe like mid to low diff possibly. And I think, like, when we saw her stop the bullets from Boros' ship, as well as pull the Monster Association out of the ground, I think those feats are more than enough to prove that she could definitely stop the meteor. And it's only really classified as a dragon, and, you know, she's consensus above dragon. So I think she probably could have stopped it, maybe threw it back into space, or just disintegrated it or something with her abilities, which she is capable of doing. And as for Fubuki buffing Esper abilities, as of right now, I don't think that she can. Now, this could be explored in the future of the story, especially when she goes against Psychos, but considering the way that she described it with Bang and Bomb, I assume that it's just a physical thing. And if she were to buff her Esper power, she probably would have done it to go against Overgrown Rover at that point. But as for like her true powers and whatnot, it really lies in her Psychic Whirlwind, like her ability to negate the flow of the Esper energy, you know, what she does against Psychos. So I'm assuming that that's really what is going to happen, other than her just buffing her Esper powers or something like that. Flashy Flash asks, hello, the one whose videos are awesome. What's up? My first question is, what will happen if these heroes were to fight in a battle royale? The characters are Overhaul, Redestro, Hawks, Pre-Awake Shigaraki, and let's throw in Tank Top Master. So I'm thinking that Hawks is probably going to take this one, mainly because he's just, you know, he has the ability to fly, and he has a very aerial fighting style, and he's like one of the fastest characters in the My Hero verse, and I think he's way faster than the characters that you mentioned here, and they really have like a disability at fighting against somebody with the abilities of Hawks, like, you know, in the aerial combat. Like Overhaul wouldn't really be able to do much, and he wouldn't be fast enough. Redestro is probably the physically strongest here, maybe even stronger than Tank Top Master, like when he gets to 100% stress form, and maybe he could throw like a stress ball at Hawks, but it probably wouldn't be fast enough to catch him. And in the end, I think Hawks would just use like the versatility of like the bullet feather things that he can do, as well as like using his sword, and just in conjunction with his speed, he's probably just going to be enough to take these guys out. And Shigaraki would probably be at the most disadvantage here. Second question, Armored Boros versus Golden S, who wins? I put my money on Armored Boros, but who do you think? Thanks, bro. So, you know, as I said in my Armored Boros video, which I think you might have seen, it's hard to say how powerful he is exactly. How much is the armor restricting his power? I assume that maybe it's sending him down to like high dragon level, something like that. Like how much is his speed hindered? How much is his durability and power hindered as well? And given what we've seen of Golden S, at least in the webcomic, you know, he's around definitely high dragon, maybe above dragon level as well. And he's was able to push Pre-Woke Garo to become Awakened Garo. So, you know, he's pretty darn powerful in that department. So as of right now, I'll say that maybe he could beat Armored Boros. Maybe. I mean, it would definitely be competitive, but, you know, ultimately comes down to how much is Boros restricted in this form. But I'm sure that once we see Golden S in the manga, he will be way stronger than what we initially thought, and I'm sure that at that time he'd probably be able to take out Armored Boros. My question this time is, how strong is Gigantomachia? What is his threat level, and could he defeat someone like the USJ Nomu or Hood, or maybe some cadres? Thanks, bro. So I think Gigantomachia, at least currently right now, might be the strongest character in the verse. Now, I'm sure once Shigaraki wakes up and he's like in his pseudo Nomu form, and whatever quirks that he's possibly been invented with, or whatever quirks he's going to gain, will, you know, probably be the strongest character at that point. But right now, Gigantomachia is ridiculously powerful. I think for sure he's dragon level. He could do like a 5-finger Delaware smash. He's super fast, super strong, probably the strongest in the verse. His durability is insane. He tanked Davi's flames, no problem. His endurance is like ridiculous too. He can go like 48 hours without resting. He only needs minimal sleep, and he can grow in size as well. Like he's so overpowered at this point, it's insane. He would definitely take care of the USJ Nomu and Hood maybe he can even beat them both at the same time. And as for the cadres, he could probably take out the lower powered cadres, like, you know, like Homeless Emperor, maybe Fear Ugly, maybe Gums as well. But when we go to like Oketsu, Eller Centipede, guys like that, he's probably not going to be able to get the job done at that point. Wolf Pup, the one above all patrons, asks, in all honesty, truthfully, and deep inside your heart, what do you think of the new awesome Epic Galaxy Buster Above Dragon Resident Evil 3 remake trailer and its graphics? I'm super excited and looking forward to playing the heck out of it. More so the mode called Project Resistance. If you don't mind me asking, Sensei, are you going to buy any DLC packs? So I'm very excited for this. I'm not going to buy it, but I definitely will red box this game, you know, rent it for like a couple days, get my fun out of it. It does look amazing, and Resident Evil 2 Remake was incredible, and I'm sure this will be incredible as well. I was more of a fan of Resident Evil 2 originally, and I did play Resident Evil 3, but I'm sure this will be much better than the original, even not even saying it was bad. I'm just really looking forward to this as well. The graphics are incredible, really pushing the current gen to its limits for sure. I'm really excited to play this game. And Project Resistance looks fun too. It looks like it's going to be like some kind of Left 4 Dead analog or something like that. As for the DLC packs, probably not, but depending on how good they are, you know, I'll look into it. What disaster level would you give Nemesis fully equipped with his arsenal if he joined the Monster Association to fight for their cause? So, given what we've seen of him in the games and in the movie, especially the clip that you supplied me with, I remember watching that movie when I was a kid. I would say that he's like definitely a demon. Maybe like a low to mid demon, somewhere around there. I mean, bullets don't really affect him that much. He has pretty good strength. He was able to bend that metal, bust through the environment and stuff like that. And then his guns are pretty effective too. You know, he has that crazy chain gun. He has the rocket launchers, but he's not really going to like Dragon or anything like that. And I don't think he's necessarily a high demon. Maybe if he had much more durability, he would be, but I mean, he's no chump at all. Last question, I promise. Nemesis versus Death Gatling. 1v1, arigato. So I think Nemesis is probably going to take Death Gatling, because we know, like, the bullets don't really affect them that much. And yes, Death Gatling's bullets are probably above the average chain gun bullets, but still, it's like we already established that he's very likely a demon, and there's no way that Death Gatling could solo a demon, considering that he's just an A-class hero, and they would need like many of them, of the best, to be able to take down a demon such as Nemesis. So I think Death Gatling would probably run out of bullets trying to take down Nemesis, and then would ultimately just get his head crushed or something if he wasn't shot or blown up or something already. What class rank would you give Alice from the 2004 film Resident Evil Apocalypse if she joined the Hero Association to rid all evil? What disaster would you give her? Arigato. So, you know, she's very powerful in the movie, but if we're like trying to transfer her over to the One Punch Man world, we'll have to exacerbate her feats, because given just how they are in that, you know, the movie's continuity, they're not like extreme the way that One Punch Man would make it out to be. So we'll just account for that, and I'll say that she maybe could be S-class level, like low S-class, like Puri Puri Prisoner or something like that. I mean, if we're going straight off of the movie, she would be A-class, but, you know, like I said, accounting for One Punch's insane power scale, you know, she's obviously super fast, super durable, strong enough to, you know, punch and maneuver with Nemesis, and take the punches, fast enough to, like, you know, grab the gun, outrun bullets and stuff like that. She took that debris in the face. You know, this is all like probably S-class level stuff in One Punch Man, maybe super high A-class level stuff. So her disaster level, considering that she was able to more or less, you know, do pretty well against Nemesis, she's probably like a low to mid demon the way that he is too, which would, you know, push her to S-class level, like low S-class. Kyrin asks, hey Almighty Z, once again, I'm sorry if you've answered this because I have the memory of a road sign. Hero Hunter Garo versus Stain. I thought this might be a fan favorite matchup because they both fill in a similar role in their respective universes. Also because I don't think Garo will hold back here and would try to kill Stain. I feel this would be a decent matchup because we know Garo will kill people due to what happened with all of those criminals at the meeting in the Hero Association HQ, so I don't believe either of them would hold back in this meeting in a fairly competitive fight. What do you think? So Garo didn't really kill anyone. He just really wrecked those guys. He's never killed a human in the entire series. And as for, like, if you're thinking about like what happened to Bluefire, he kind of just ripped his arm off. And I think that's probably as far as he'll go. Garo, you know, it goes against really his morality to kill humans. I mean, it's been proven multiple times throughout the series. He kind of just beat those guys up big time. So I don't think that he's going to kill Stain. He's definitely going to wreck him, push him close to death, very likely, but I don't think that he'd go full through with like taking him out, because Stain is a human after all, even though he looks kind of monstery. So this fight would maybe be competitive in the beginning, but I think Garo is ultimately way more powerful than Stain. He's just faster, stronger, more durable. He comes from a much more powerful verse than the My Hero verse that Stain comes from, and we saw that Stain is very, very effective, especially if he's able to get his quirk off against you. But ultimately, like, you know, if you're just fast enough and strong enough, you can easily overcome Stain. In the end, I mean, he was taken out by like Izuku and Ida, and granted, you know, he was dealing with like 3 of the best students at the time, but in the end, it's like he's not outrageously powerful, but he's no chump. But like in the eyes of Garo, like we saw, like he easily took out like the most of the best A and B class heroes, took out Tank Top Master, took out Metal Bat. Like I don't think Stain is going to really be able to compete with somebody like this unless he's able to cut Garo, you know, drink his blood and activate his quirk. Then of course, then he could take out Garo, but even getting to that point is going to be extremely difficult for him. So I would put my money on Garo in this fight. It would probably only take like 1 or 2 punches, honestly. He's that strong. Second question, your answer to my last question has me curious as to who you think would win if Snek fought pre-Awakening Saitama. I'm not too sure. We don't have that many feats from either of them, so I realize this would be mostly speculation, but I feel that it would be competitive. But Snek is a martial artist who seems to have mastered his style, so he could give Saitama a run for his money. But on the other hand, Saitama has the will to take on armies. Doesn't mean that he'd win, though. What do you think their battle would be like? So, I mean, yeah, we don't have enough feats on Snek, but he is pretty powerful. He is in the A class after all, and if we're talking about Road to Hero Saitama, I don't think that he's on the A class in that version of him. And given that Snek, like you said, is a martial artist, and he's pretty effective. I mean, he can take down tigers and stuff like that. So he would probably just defeat Saitama being more skilled than him. Saitama obviously wouldn't go down easily, but I think Snek would probably take care of him in the end. P.S. You mispronounced my name. Good luck with the pronunciation this time. And also, I'm going to try to eventually join Wolf Pup as the other $100 patron, because yes, I genuinely enjoy your content. It keeps me going throughout the workday. Anyways, I love your videos, man. Keep up the hard work and the best wishes to you. Hey, thank you so much, Kyrin, I think. Just let me know how to pronounce it and I'll try my best. But hey, if you do go through with that patronage, I really appreciate it. No pressure, of course, but that would be incredible if you did. So thank you again, Kyrin. ShadowBatX asks, how's your day going, ZD Honan? Hope this title puts a smile on your face. That does, ShadowBat, and that's because that's my true name. Here's an interesting matchup. Who would win in a 1v1 versus Black S, all forms, or Evil Natural Water base form, oil form, unofficial tsunami form? Sure, Evil Natural Water can destroy multiple S-class S clones at once, but then again, Black S presumably knows how Evil Natural Water functions. When it comes down to fighting each other in their forms, I'm really not sure. Also, yes, when they fight each other, they're going to go form to form, typically like in a DBZ fight. So what are your thoughts? I think that in the end, Evil Natural Water might lose to Golden S. He would do pretty well against the Black S and Multi S at that form, considering it's a good matchup for them. He could just water stream them, and they would probably not fare too well against that. But then they would keep multiplying, and it really is debatable that if he could vaporize them with his water streams, which maybe he can, maybe he can't. I would put it more so into that he can't. And then it's like, how can the Black S's take care of Evil Natural Water? Can they all like pummel him to death like the way that they did against Atomic Samurai? Because like, you can pummel him, you can like physically strike him into submission, because Saitama did. But then again, you have to recreate a friggin' normal punch or something even close to a normal punch. And maybe Golden S at his 100% full power, no holding back, could maybe do that. So I'm gonna probably give the win to it eventually coming down to Golden S having to take care of him, because Evil Natural Water could probably drown the Black S clones if he really wanted to as well. So it's a really competitive fight, though. It's difficult to say for sure. Do you think that the Mad Cyborg is actually separated into 2 beings such as Genos and Drive Knight? Big stretch, but it could happen. One has been surprising us lately, so he could do this later on. Think of it like DBZ with Fusion and DBGT. The 2 Android 17s fused together into Super 17. Genos could be in a way softer type, while Drive Knight is the power and controlling type. Plus, Drive Knight could be a cyborg, and the reason why he wears a mask is he's missing his face because Genos has it. Also, Dr. Kuseno could be lying about the origins of the Mad Cyborg. That way, Genos can't figure out the connections. Furthermore, Dr. Kuseno wants to collect data on on Saitama and the way that he could be Drive Knight upgrading it to Genos. Also, Dr. Kuseno and Drive Knight could have similarities like collecting data like Ultron and Iron Man. Finally, when they fuse, Genos could be the one taking the backseat while Drive Knight is in control, or become one body, one mind. It could explain why Drive Knight wasn't extremely angry when Genos popped up in the current arc, since he could use it as to his advantage when they fuse. I know it may not happen, but I wanted to share this with you, so your opinion. Anyway, take care, my friend. So yeah, I mean, I personally don't think that this is likely. Now, it could have been likely if we saw some evidence of this prior, like if it was somehow established already that this like type of mechanical fusion or something like that was already like a thing that exists, but so far it hasn't been. Now, I don't think it's entirely creditless. There could be a connection between Drive Knight and Genos originating from the same thing. Now, that's definitely a possibility, and I really do like what you said about Iron Man and Ultron. That could be why the organization / Drive Knight is all about acquiring battle data and stuff like that, because they learned it from Dr. Kuseno, not necessarily because Dr. Kuseno is controlling them and is evil himself. So that I'm on board with for sure. And I like the whole concept of maybe Genos has Drive Knight's face, or maybe Genos has Drive Knight's brain or body, or vice versa and stuff like that. Now, that could definitely be a thing. But as for them fusing together, like I said, there's no real way to say that for sure, but in the end, I think if we just pick parts of this theory and hypothesis, then maybe we can come closer to the truth, because in the end, I think that they are all connected. Drive Knight, Dr. Kuseno, Genos, the organization. I think for sure that this is all connected, and it's very possible that Genos might have some aspects of the Mad Cyborg, but not necessarily be the Mad Cyborg entirely. Mr. Awesome asks, hey Big Z, how they hanging? Hey, they're hanging pretty low, Mr. Awesome, thanks. Anyway, my first question this week is actually somewhat inspired by the first question that I asked you. When I asked you who would win in a fight with the salaryman Saitama against the Cyclist for Justice, you gave it to Saitama mostly due to his superior willpower, so that leads me to this question. How would you rank the 10 strongest wills in the One Punch Man universe? So we've got at number 10 a Mind Mask. We recently found out that he is in fact a monster, and he's kind of fighting back the monsterification of his brain. He's trying to keep his humanity, so I think that's pretty impressive, so I'll give him the 10 spot on the will there. Number 9, Flashy Flash. I know, super powerful both will and physically. He got up from Awakened Garo, still kept fighting on regardless, still trying to go after Saitama. I want to give him the slot here. Snack at number 8. He's pretty much fearless. Even though he is kind of comical, he still went against Deep Sea King and Goketsu. The guy is just awesome. Silver Fang, he's Silver Fang. Dr. Genus at number 6. He went against Carnage Kabuto, went against Zombie Man, didn't really fear death. He firmly believes in his ideology. Number 5, Moomin Rider, really speaks for itself. And number 4, Golden S. So Golden S, I'm putting him here because Fubuki said that strength of will is tied to psychic resistance, and he was one of the prime examples used as somebody who was able to resist Tatsumaki's psychic binding. So I guess that means that, yeah, he has an extremely strong will. Number 3, Garo. Enough said. Blast at number 2. He's Blast, so I'm sure that he has second to only Saitama in the strength of will. And then Saitama, because, he's friggin' Saitama. My second question is a little more complicated, so please bear with me. One of my favorite tropes in shonen in the character with above average charisma and luck that always seems to come out on top regardless of their skills. So my question is, how would you rank the following characters in regards to said charisma and luck? So at number 1, we have King. And King kind of falls in this trope and outside of it at the same time, because he literally has a supernatural ability of luck, which influences charisma and everything, which I call the aura and everything. And these other characters don't have an actual power. It's kind of just written into them to be charismatic and lucky at certain points in the story. But as with King, it's like his literal power. Because these other characters do have downfalls within their own individual series. They are touched, they are beat up, they are exposed. King, never. He's only really touched in his origin story, and after that, he pretty much has like an eternal genjutsu over everyone. It's just really incredible. I love it so much. Of course, it's not confirmed, just my own hypothesis and theory. And then I'll have Buggy, because Buggy was able to rally together a pretty good force. He seems to be more charismatic when he's not really trying too much, especially like during the Paramount War. Like, even when he wasn't really trying to rally those guys together, they were just coming together for him. They were just believing whatever he said, even when he didn't want to. And then I guess Usopp, kind of similar, you know, his biggest moment coming in Dressrosa. That's really when he came into his own. And he is still pretty formidable in his own. He unlocked his observation haki and everything. And he is pretty durable and has some surprising endurance as well. And then I guess Don Kanoji, similar to Usopp, you know, he does have charisma, and he's, you know, kind of formidable in his own way. Like, he's not exactly like an entire chump. He does have some good feats to him. And then last I put Mr. Satan because I think his quote-unquote luck and charisma is blown out of proportion. It only really falls to like the low-tier characters in the Dragon Ball verse. civilians really believe that Mr. Satan is ultra powerful, and he is. I mean, granted, pretty much everyone in the Dragon Ball world, regardless of their superhumanness, is pretty damn powerful. I mean, he can pull those bosses and stuff, and like, you know, he can defeat the other martial artists in that world, but you know, like when he goes up to Cell, he gets slapped, and all of the Z fighters know that he's a joke right off the bat. That definitely wouldn't happen with most of the other characters here. At least they would believe somewhat of their accomplishments. Not even talking about King. Thank you for your answers, Shonen. And please tell me if there's anybody you think I left off the list. Probably Regan. He's a good example for Mob Psycho. Anyways, Shonen, stay frosty. You rock. Hey, thanks, Mr. Awesome. You rock too. That's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Once again, I want to thank all 110 of my incredibly amazing patrons. Guys, I can't thank you enough for all of your support. It really does help me. And if you would like to be in next week's Q&A, simply check out the Patreon. The $5 tier will give you access to this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day.